going through a lot, feeling stressed, hurting. You do it, you just do it.
Listen,
You pony up.
I wanted to, but I was just worried that it'd be
I was
this.
gonna use your dick as medicine because it's just that good and become addicted. And next thing you know, I'm just a dick fiend.
Yes, but no, but yes, but.
You know what, Tony? You can worry when you see me shooting smack and sucking
Okay,
hits.
okay.
That's when
I don't need you to paint the picture for.
Yeah, so I mentioned this during my live last night, and Danny became one of the top tier characters for me in season 7. But the one thing I hate about filler episodes is that it portrays characters sometimes in their worst quality traits, personality quirks. Sometimes we see character regression just for the sake of filler. Sometimes we see characters, well, rinse and repeat the same motions as before, just for the sake of filling up the runtime. And I feel like we got a little taste of that in episode 2, where Danny made it clear that from this point forward, she doesn't want Tony involved in her therapeutic journey. It's is it Krisha? I believe that's the name of her therapist. It's just between her and Danny now. But to me, I just feel like Danny and Tony had an opposing storyline to Rich and Sabrina, where Danny's man wanted to be there to check in with her because what's happened over the course of the past like 36 hours, give or take, because I believe it was stated that the wedding thing was like Saturday evening, Saturday night. That's when the stabbing took place. And then it's like, I'm assuming Monday morning where everybody's being interrogated. So yeah, a lot of things have happened in less than 48 hours. And he just wants to make sure Danny's okay. But Danny doesn't want to hear it. She just wants to have sex, which in turn, Tony rightfully calls out. It's like, look, you were doing good on your therapeutic appointments and whatnot, and you seem to be doing better, because this stems back from like when she was having those nightmares over the course of their 3 months of their dating, and he suggested therapy. She didn't want to hear it, but then Fatima recommended somebody, and that's when things started out. And Tony wants to be there for her along the journey. He doesn't want to just be a piece of meat for her to gravitate towards when she wants to distract herself from real life and her feelings. Then on the flip side, you have Sabrina, who's dealing with a ton of emotions and stress right now. And like I said, after episode 1, I think it will be an interesting plot point where Sabrina possibly is dealing with slight PTSD, because remember, she got arrested and put behind bars for a crime she didn't commit. So her being in that interrogation room under the threat of possibly going down for a murder she didn't commit, that could actually cause a whole bunch of stress. Not to mention all the hormonal things she's been doing to her body to prepare for getting pregnant. Yeah, Sabrina's going through a lot. You have Rich. Some people are like, Rich was doing too much. He was being too flirty. I'm like, nah, he was just being there for his woman. And unlike Danny, Sabrina was receiving it. I mean, if nothing else, Rich said that, oh, wow, I can't have sex with you for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. But hey, maybe this is a great opportunity for me to prove to you that I can be here for you and more than just someone you have sex with. So I get what was going on there, the parallel storylines there, or the opposing side of the same coin, where one person has a boyfriend who's willing to be supportive while she's going through something and she receives it. And you could also argue that Sabrina kind of reprimands him, where it's like, hey, no sex for 2 weeks because of the whole, my body, it will be kind of painful for me to be penetrated. Rich accepts it and decides, you know what, I'll be here for you for what you need me for, which is emotional support right now. Then on the other side, you have Danny, who pretty much reprimands Tony by saying, hey, I don't need or want your help. I'm just going to focus on my therapy with my therapist, and that's it. And basically, the reverse is that rather than being there for emotional support, Tony is just utilized for sex. Because it's like, what man wouldn't want a woman just to have sex with him? It's like, a man who wants a meaningful and lasting relationship. I mean, this just goes back to Danny's issues that when you think about Preston, whenever she was going through some emotional with him, she refused to have a level headed, mature conversation. She just opted to throw Preston's mistakes in his face, which were minuscule in the grand scheme of things, and then hook up with some random dude. This is her regressing. Now, I wonder how things are going to unfold between her and Tony moving forward, but it's just one of those things where I really think Danny needs to evaluate what she's doing, because she's hot girl summering it up with the same guy, which is good for once, and the guy she's in a relationship with. But if she isn't able to open up and express to Tony, that's probably not going to be good for them in the long run. But that's just my opinion on it. I think there is slight regression here, but like I said before, it is a filler episode, so one has to wonder how serious the depiction of the characters are. So let's talk about in the comments, how do you feel about Danny excluding Tony from the therapy journey that, let's be honest here, he's kind of responsible for? Yes, Fatima was the one who recommended Krisha, but at the same time, Tony and then Sabrina, well, Tony made the suggestion, she brought it up to Sabrina vouched for Tony's suggestion, and Fatima was the one that sealed the deal. So that's pretty much how things are. But let's talk about in the comments, like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.